Hey, this is Bethany with Morgan James, and today I'm speaking with our author, John Ramstead. And John is the author of On Purpose with Purpose, Discovering How to Live Your Best Life. And this is a step by step guide for leaders to transform their business and their life that reads like an aviation thriller. How interesting. So, John, I'm so excited to speak with you. Hi, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, great to be here, Bethany. Thank you.
Oh, so I'm so excited to ask you some questions about your book. And the first question I have is, what inspired you to write On Purpose with Purpose? And what makes it so important right now?
Well, after a long career and as a Navy fighter pilot and then in business, and I got to this place where I should have been at the top of my game, but I was on it. I describe it in the book as smoldering discontent. And it didn't matter how hard I worked, things just weren't getting better. And then I had an accident, Bethany, that put me in the hospital for 2 years, required 23 surgeries. I had a severe traumatic brain injury and I had to completely recreate my life. I could not go back to running a company. And as I went through this process of trying to figure out what I should do next and who I am and what's my why and how should I do all these things, I had some amazing things come together. I realized I'd been given this second chance at life and I get an opportunity to rewrite my script. And I was able to do that. I actually moved into a life that I can't believe I'm living. It's so awesome. And in that, I realized, and some friends around me and some of my coaching clients, because that's what I moved into, I could do it. I started out doing it part-time. This journey that I went through myself had become a process that I was using with my clients. And one of my clients said, John, you need to write a book so other people can do this without having an accident. It was a horse accident and getting thrown into a fence, or having to work with you or other coaches for a year. And that's where the book started.
Wow. Wow. Um, so what would you say? I know you talk about a lot of your experiences, and right now, there's a lot of people facing a lot of different adversity or crossroads in their life. So why would you say that this book really makes sense for the world right now?
Well, it's interesting. I think, anybody listening to this right now, or if you're representing groups that might read this, there's less than 10% of people out there right now that feel like they're actually connected to meaningful work or a sense of purpose or what they should be doing. And when we hit adversity, if we don't have something that we can fix on a worthwhile goal or dream, it is really hard to move forward. And what I realized going through my own process, I was actually searching for that in the past. I was one of those people that never quite connected to it. And it's because I was doing it backwards. Because here's what I found is, we, in the business and leadership world, we talk about the why and the what and the how, and those are very important. What is underneath that, which is foundational, which the leadership industry does not talk about a lot, is who we are, that best version of ourselves. And what I realized when I closed the gap between the person I saw in the mirror after this accident and the best version of who I could be, and when that gap closed, my stress, my anxiety, my sense of purpose, what I should do next became crystal clear. And I have found that the same thing happens not only when I'm coaching with people, but the feedback I'm getting now from people reading the book. And the cool thing is, Bethany, I have CEOs, people in the military, other groups, families that are reading this book and going through it together already as a team, who just got an advanced copy to just help us with the launch. So some exciting things are happening.
That's so wonderful. That's so encouraging to hear, and must be very rewarding to experience that and to see it coming to fruition and changing, real lives and real situations. So that kind of leads me into the next question, because you have been through a lot of adversity in your life. And how did you not only overcome those things, but in fact use them to help others?
Yeah, unfortunately, I am that. So in the Navy, I got orders to go to Top Gun. And then the next weekend I got hit with a softball in the eye and had nerve damage and I was out.
Wow.
And then I built my first company 90 hours a week and the internet bubble popped. And 90 days later, we were all out on the street. And then other things, 2008, I was on Wall Street when that hit. And then I had my accident. What I have found is these crucible moments that we have, when we go through them, nothing ever stays the same. You either emerge from one of these periods of adversity, we either emerge stronger or we get weaker. Relationships either strengthen, a marriage strengthens, a business team strengthens, or it gets flung apart. And what I found is going through that, it's so like today, the stress that we're all experiencing right now, people might not remember what we did, the decisions we made, but you know what they're going to remember, Bethany, is how we showed up, how we treated them. Did we see the value in them individually? Were they a contributor? Did I care about their life outside of maybe what we're doing now? And I think the opportunity and almost the necessity for us to become better versions of ourselves as leaders. Because when we just take those small steps, we can help others take some small steps also. And imagine if our entire team, our entire company, our organization all got just a little bit better. I personally believe, and I've seen it, those are the organizations, the companies that not only are going to survive, but they are going to emerge from this stronger. And that is my hope. I want to see people strengthened through a time that we've been through, which has really been hard, versus being torn apart.
Amazing. Yeah, for sure. So I guess some more like practical questions here. So I mean, a lot of that revolves around like mindset and mission and making sure that people are on the same page. So how do you help develop the type of mindset and mission that will give leaders and their teams resilience that they really need to thrive moving forward?
Well, that's an interesting question, because think about what mindset is, right? It is the sum total of how you show up in a situation. Something happens in your environment, and I have a thought. Maybe I thought that was disrespectful, or that was hard. And then I'm going to have a feeling. Could be disgust. It could be anger. But out of those feelings, I am going to take an action. Right? Somebody might say, hey, John, I want you to try a new project. And I might not want to do the project because I'm afraid of failing and looking bad or losing my job, especially in an economy like this. So I'm scared to death of taking risks. And I think that there's a difference between almost having a victim mentality, which I have definitely been through some of the things I have, and also then having a mentality saying, life doesn't happen to me, life happens for me. I had to go and change the context of some of the things I went through and said, that doesn't define me. It actually prepared me to do better in the present. So it's all about transitioning from, I think, a fixed mindset to one of a growth mindset. And that is imperative today. Like, hey, we've probably heard it from our kids and our employees. Hey, I can't do that. Right? Our kids, Bethany, are not allowed to say the word can't. What they can say is, hey, I don't know how to do that yet. That is a totally different mindset. When I say I can't, it's a self-handicapping statement. It just shuts down my attempt to even try. The other one says, I'm going to go, it's important. Tell me why it's important. Tell me where to get the information, how to get the experience. And guess what? I'm going to do my best to make it happen. Would you help me do that? Two totally different outcomes from the same starting point. And guess what? That is a mindset that can be nurtured and created, even if it does not exist today in any individual, in any team.
I love that so much. And, one of my mentors and the founder of Morgan James, David Hancock, he is always looking for reasons to say yes. And, and it's that mindset there that is so contagious as well. And when you can foster that in your team or your environment, it really can help steer the ship in the direction of that main mission. So love that so much, John. So if people want to learn more information about you or about the book, or connect with you, could you tell us the best way for them to find you?
Yeah, I would love for everybody to go to beyondinfluence.com/book. We're doing some amazing things right now with our book launch team, some really special events, behind the curtain events The book on April 27th is going to be available at all the major booksellers and independent booksellers. And you'll have links to wherever your favorite place to buy a book is on our website. And we'd love for you to join our community. It's growing rapidly, I think, as people are just embracing this notion of let's create a movement to become better versions of ourselves, bring that into our organizations, and through that, let's change the narrative around not only leadership, but what's happening in our cities and communities around us for the good. And I really believe that we can do good through doing business if we all just get a little bit better ourselves. So we're having a blast, Bethany. And so beyondinfluence.com/book, come join us.
Awesome. And just because I happen to spy it, I see you have a little bit of a stack of your books. Could you just give
I
us
do.
a little visual? And it makes,
Yes.
oh yeah, love them.
So, and being my first book, just telling on myself, when this came the first day, it was so exciting. And now to see that thousands of these are, people want them. And my goodness, it's just a culmination of my accident was 9 years ago. It just feels like it's like a milestone on this very long journey of basically having to recreate anything. So yeah, this is really neat.
And it seems like it could also be a good title for organizations to bring in for like their whole staff. So it would be a great book for organizations to consider, buying from you perhaps in bulk even. So I love this stack there. That just made me think of that, and
yeah. And you know what? We have teams doing that. If anybody's interested in doing that, and we're putting together, it's really it's designed to from day one to be used with a team. So I have a general in the Pentagon's going through this with his staff, an executive at a Fortune 100 team with their entire company. Our church down the road where we go are doing it with their staff. So, I mean, this covers across a spectrum because, leadership has a lot of very universal principles. So yeah, I would love to serve and help anybody to do that and bring this into their organization.
Awesome. Well, John, thank you for spending some time today talking with me about your new book, On Purpose with Purpose, and congratulations on the launch of your book.
Yeah, thank you, Bethany, and thank you for your time, and thank you to Morgan James, who gave me the chance and picked me up as a new author, because what's happened since that day has just been like this rocket ship, and I so appreciate you and David Hancock and Chris McCluskey and the entire team. You guys have been just an amazing partner in this journey.
Oh, we're so glad to hear that, and we are so proud. So congratulations, John, and thanks again.
Yeah, thank you, Bethany.